What's the smartest payback you pulled without getting caught? My senior year, I saved every dollar to buy my dream car, a used 2005 Mustang. I spent months restoring it, learning mechanics from YouTube videos. That car became my pride and joy. Then Blake moved in next door. He was our elderly neighbor's nephew, who had some trouble in his previous town. Blake made it clear he thought he was better than everyone with his designer clothes and constant bragging about his rich parents. Blake hated that my car got attention. He drove a brand new BMW his parents bought him, a fact he mentioned constantly. One Friday, I found a deep scratch along the entire side of my Mustang. When I confronted Blake, he just smirked and said, "Prove it." His aunt defended him, claiming he'd been home all day. I spent another month's savings fixing that scratch. 2 weeks later, I woke up to all 4 of my tires slashed. The police said, without witnesses, there was nothing they could do. Blake walked by while I was talking to the officers and whispered, "Tough break," with the biggest grin. That night, I overheard Blake on his phone bragging about how he'd taught the poor kid with the trash Mustang a lesson, and that the cops in this backwater town were too stupid to catch him. I couldn't afford to replace 4 tires. My car sat useless while I worked extra shifts. Every morning, Blake would rev his BMW as he left, making sure I heard what I was missing. I noticed 3 things about Blake. He desperately wanted to be accepted by the popular crowd. He left his BMW unlocked because nothing bad happens in this boring neighborhood, and he'd been warned for speeding twice already. My plan was simple. I befriended Tyler, our school's star quarterback, and casually suggested inviting Blake to his legendary weekend party. Blake received his invitation and spent the week bragging about it. The night before the party, I waited until everyone was asleep. I quietly opened his unlocked BMW and placed 3 things inside: an empty liquor bottle tucked under the passenger seat, a small bag of oregano, which looked exactly like weed, in his center console, and printed directions to Tyler's house on the dashboard. Then, I made an anonymous call to the police, mentioning concern about a BMW driving erratically near Tyler's street, the exact route Blake would take. Saturday evening, Blake left for the party, dressed in his most expensive clothes. He never made it there. The police had set up a checkpoint on the route. When they pulled Blake over, they spotted the evidence in plain sight. Despite his protests, his previous tickets made him unsympathetic to the officers. Blake was arrested for underage possession of alcohol and what they believe was marijuana. His BMW was impounded, and his aunt had to pay a fortune to bail him out. The charges were reduced when the marijuana was tested, but Blake's reputation was destroyed. His car remained impounded for weeks due to fees. The story spread through school instantly, and instead of becoming popular, he became known as the rich kid who couldn't handle his substances. His aunt finally sent Blake back to his parents. The last I saw him, he was loading his designer luggage into his mother's car, face burning with humiliation as neighbors watched. I used the money I'd saved for tires to install security cameras instead, and every morning when I start my Mustang now, I smile thinking about how Blake never knew it was me.